What's going on, guys? Welcome to Paneloids, comic books and more. Tonight on Paneloids, we are joined by the incredibly talented Curt Pires, owner of The Big Window, to my right, writer of The Only Teenage Wasteland, Indigo Children, Olympia, and many other amazing books. But right now, he's here to talk about his brand new distillery series, Galactic, as well as issue number 5 of Lost Fantasy. Welcome,
What's up,
Curt
y'all?
Pires.
Thanks for having me.
All right, my man. Welcome. Thank you for being with us. Could you tell our viewers about your career in comics and how you got started?
Sure. Well, I mean, I first comic I published or put out was in 2012, so a while ago now. I really wanted to. It was sort of during the image renaissance of that period when a lot of the great creators at Marvel and DC were jumping over to Image, and was in college at the time, and would sort of religiously go every Wednesday to the comic shop to pick up, stuff like Fatale, the stuff Hickman was doing, all the books Remender was doing. It was just a really exciting moment in comics, and so I was really inspired by that, and I decided to self-publish and distribute sort of a one-shot comic, which I did with a guy named Ramon Villalobos, who's done a bunch of work at Marvel, DC, a few other places. And so we did a book called LP, and we self-published and distributed it to stores, mostly in North America, Canada, U.S. And then from there, I started doing work at Dark Horse. I did a book at Boom Studios, and then the last few years, really, since 2019, I've been focusing on creator-owned stuff. Worked on developing some of the ideas and stuff into TV shows at places like Amazon Prime and FX, and then now I'm working on a bunch of image projects, which Lost Fantasy is obviously a big one right now for us, doing really well, and then getting ready to launch my first distillery project, Galactic, which I'm very excited to be here talking to you guys about today.
Yeah, no, long career there. Very awesome career. Definitely excited about Lost Fantasy though. I definitely got to say that, and Galactic. So, Dimitri, I'll let you take it over here.
Can you? Thank you. Can you give us a synopsis of Galactic?
Yeah, so Galactic, I sort of pitch to people as Star Wars meets true romance. So it's a grounded sort of crime romance story set against the backdrop of a massive science fiction universe that's inspired by things like Star Wars or Dune, and just really there's a huge sandbox for us to play in. And so it's about a bounty hunter named Jack and his partner Wolf, who's a anthropomorphic dog who's may or may not be based on my actual dog Wolf. And they're bounty hunters tasked to bring home a runaway princess who's on a bender on a hippie planet, experimenting with drugs and sex. And so that they're tasked with bringing her home to her home planet, and along the way they maybe fall in love and stumble into the midst of a interstellar war. So it's a sort of really grounded humanistic story told against a larger than life world and backdrop.
It's been amazing. The first issue. I'm sorry, Jeremiah, you go.
We got to read the first issue early, which was fantastic. One of the things that really stood out to me is the panel perspective. Now, did you write that into the script, or was that Almacar Pinna's idea? It's one of those things. My wife walked by me when I was reading it, and she's like, "What the hell's going on?" Because of the way that the panel perspective is. It's fantastic. Nothing is dead on, minus the first person, which is really a really cool idea. So
yeah, the fisheye stuff and that sort of amazing perspective stuff is all Amilcar. He's really great at it. The first person stuff was in the script, and I did I did write that out, but Amilcar really, the fisheye stuff is really his bread and butter. It's the way he plays with perspective is just incredible, and there's some great panels in the first issue. You know, especially like there's a bar fight panel that he sets the camera up. Right, it's really cool.
That's the exact scene my wife saw, and she like stopped and was like, "What's going on here?" It was really cool. And it's also the juxtaposition of the first person is the only like twisted perspective, which I thought was really cool. So you're working on this with Amilcar, Pena, Lee Lowridge, and Mika Myers is the letterer, correct?
Yeah, so Micah letters or Mika, actually not sure how to say it, so maybe Micah one day will have to tell us. But he letters most of my stuff. I work pretty closely with him. I think like a letterer is kind of like a editor on your movie, or a producer on your record, right? So someone you work really closely with, and you have to be able to depend on them. So Mike, I've worked with on a lot of stuff, and so he's doing this one. We really kind of wanted the book to have a more European feel to it, so we sort of played with the fonts and the balloons to give them a bit of that feeling, right? Because we're really inspired by like European comics and the work of like Mobius and
I was gonna say it's right out of Mobius.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. The other thing, not to spoil too much, but Galactic does a great job of the narration not exactly syncing up with what's going on the panels. It's almost like you wrote two different scripts towards the beginning and towards the end. Now, was that like your idea, or did you just let like Pina cook while you did the narration over top of it?
It's definitely in the script, because I mean the way it's the way it's scripted, it jumps around a lot, and it was sort of designed to juxtapose the word, what you're reading and what you're seeing isn't always the same, and a lot of the story kind of, and the tension of the story comes out of that, because it's a story about an element of it is incidents that play out. We see people's different take on them, and their perspective on their lives. So we sort of like really play with that. And so that was something that definitely was in the script, but I think it's a credit to Amilcar, the way he sort of lands it. And, the thing is I wanted this issue to feel really packed, right? Like it's already oversized, but we had a lot of ground we wanted to cover. And so some of the pages are a little more dense, and I think Amilcar does a really good job of still creating cool visuals and not, make it feel like you're reading a textbook or something. So I think he really landed the stuff I was trying to convey in the script.
I fully agree. It looks awesome.
It's funny. Me and my fiance. Well, I was really reading the book, but my fiance was like looking over my screen while I'm like looking at it. She's like, "I like how like the pages look," and I was like, "What do you mean?" And she's like, "Every page feels like its own like thing. Like it's just like there's hues. It just looks. I don't know. It's just interesting how like everything looks. I love the colors in this book. I really do.
Yeah, I think he did a great job on the colors.
Yeah. So yeah, we have Paul Citrone in the comics here in the comments. Looking forward to Galactic. My order is in. What brought you and DSTLRY together? How is it creating for the DSTLRY book format?
Well, first off, thanks for ordering it. I really appreciate it. This is you guys obviously are very passionate about comics. I'm sure everyone knows, but really right now, especially, books are living and dying on the pre-orders. So whenever anyone is pre-ordering our stuff, I do really appreciate it. So thank you, Paul. To answer your question about what brought DSTLRY and I together is I worked with both David and Chip, who run the company a lot at their prior company. They were at Comixology before, and were running the originals program and doing a lot of great stuff there. And we'd have, worked together a lot, liked each other, had a lot of success over there. One of the I was talking earlier about, I worked on adapting some of the shows. One of those shows was based on one of this comicsology book I'd done called Youth, which they bought from me when it was kind of just a crazy idea. And working with Chip, I ended up going and pitching that as a show to Amazon Studios and selling that as a show, and spending about 5 years of my life working on that, from writing the pilot to producing it. But we had a lot of success together there. So when they went off and were doing their new thing, of course, I was very excited to be involved. And it's taken, honestly, we've been working together on a bunch of things for a couple of years now, right? Like last year we announced the project with Ramita, which we're still working on, but finally to have or be so close to having the first book come out, which is Galactic, is it's an amazing feeling. And I'm such a fan of what they're doing, and I'm just happy to be a part of what I think is a great thing happening in comics right now with them.
Yeah, 100%. I'm glad your book's a part of this, because there's been some big heavy hitters in Distillery. So I think your name definitely deserves to be up there for sure. Galactic, right? Such great world building in this book. Do you start with characters or the rules of the universe? So how much do you actually plan ahead knowing that?
I mean, it's definitely characters and the story first. I like to build the universe through the story, so I'm not like, I certainly have ideas about what the universe is and how I want it to feel, but I'm not trying to build that before I build the core of the story, because then it's kind of like putting the horse before the cart, right? It's sort of like, I feel like you gotta really have a special story to tell, and then everything comes out from that.
Yeah, I really liked how creative these characters were, and then I think off camera before we got on, you told us what inspired one of them. So I don't know if that's out there or not, but
my dog. It's
yeah.
that's fine. Yeah, it's inspired by my dog, who's currently in the back of the office running around doing something probably shouldn't be doing. But yeah, I just thought it was funny because I don't know. I always wanted to do. I just love dogs. Right. I have a couple of books coming out that got dogs characters in them, and it's not like I was trying to chase the trend of all these animal books or whatever. But I'm just like, I was literally just doing it because I thought it was funny. Right. If I just get paid to put my dog in a book, I'm like, it's hilarious to me. So yeah, I put him in there as sort of, he's like the Chewbacca character, and the relationship between Jack and Wolf is kind of designed to mirror the relationship that I have with my dog, and I think a lot of people have with their animals, where you're very close to your dog, and you sort of develop this really close bond with them, and so it sort of takes that and builds it up.
Oh, there we go. We got a special guest.
Is here. There you go.
Oh,
buddy.
that's awesome. That's
but yeah,
great.
it's fun.
Yeah. Now I didn't even realize, like, I could see obviously it was a dog face, but I was like, knowing that it was based off of your dog was like hilarious to me. I love that.
Yeah,
so
right.
much.
It's the same name and everything. Wolf.
Oh my god, I didn't even know that. That's so awesome. That's
Yeah.
great. We got to see Wolf in other things now. Wolf definitely needs to be a recurring character.
He's in one other book, which is funny. I didn't tell the publisher about it yet, but I'm like, yeah, he's in 2 books.
Oh my god, this needs to be your Easter egg. You need to have Wolf pop up and everything.
Yeah, so I like my dog the way Quentin Tarantino likes feet,
Nice.
Well, actually, I don't like my dog the same way he likes feet.
I was like, I might have to call. I might have to call the cops.
Not quite as much as he likes feet.
All
I like
right.
the Easter eggs. Okay,
That's
like
the clip
that.
right there. That's the clip
Yeah,
right there.
yeah,
I'm
needed
sorry.
a response.
That's
No, but
funny.
really, this book is so good. I mean, the narration, the dialogue, the pacing. I mean, I haven't been like that sucked into a book in like that long. Where like everything around me, like all the noises around me, I was just completely focused, which just rarely happens for me anymore. So really, I can't compliment it enough. It's
Well,
going to be so
I
big.
appreciate it. That's what we want, right? It's when we can sort of pull you into the book and yeah, like I was saying before when we were talking, I'm real proud of Galactic. So I just hope we can, people give the book a chance because I think it's really and the question earlier was asking about this and I kind of missed it, but it really designed the book specifically for the distillery format. I wanted it to feel like widescreen and epic, and a huge part of that is having a great art team behind it. But yeah, we just put a lot of effort and time into trying to make the book as good as it can be, and also just make it work in the format. Because I'm a fan of going to see movies in IMAX and stuff, and you can always tell when a movie's shot for IMAX, and it's this incredible immersive experience, or they just sort of shit it out and shoot like one scene in the IMAX, and that's always annoys me. So for this book, it was 100% from the ground up built for the oversized distillery format.
Yeah, you really feel that. Like even like Jeremiah was saying, like the almost camera shots, right? Of like how they like do the wide lens, like it just like that art style, like it just meshes so freaking well for this. And like it, like Kyle was saying, like it really, like I'm immersed in there. Like I'm ready to go. Like I want to see issue 2, 3. Like I want to keep going with this.
2 is already done. We're ahead of schedule on the book, right? Because we know, like we were talking about earlier, like the book was delayed a bit because of everything that happened with Diamond, which was fully out of our control. But we understood that people were waiting a bit for the book, so we're ahead, and so 2 is totally done. We're about to break ground on 3, so we're in a really good spot with this book.
So let's jump around a little bit. Can you give us a synopsis for Lost Fantasy?
Sure thing. So Lost Fantasy is my other, big series right now. I'm doing this one at Image. It's sort of it's a lot of different things, but I describe it as sort of a Dungeons and Dragons meets CSI, which is kind of a crazy thing, but it's about a hidden world underneath our own that's very inspired by like the world of Harry Potter, where it's sort of the magic world's hidden just beneath the surface of ours. And basically, when things cross over from this magical world into our world and kill people or cause disasters, there's this group, sort of an agency called the Great Hunters, who are responsible for catching these monsters and stopping these incidents. And our first story arc follows sort of a rookie monster hunter called Henry Blackheart, who is sent to a small town in Montana to solve a mass killing that he believes is caused by a mythical creature. And so it takes sort of all these fantasy creatures and epic stuff that we love about the genre and grounds it in sort of a procedural engine and really tries to tell a compelling dramatic story with that. But also we have guys with spiky hair and giant swords inspired by Final Fantasy. So it's a unique beast that I think is really really tailor made for the comics medium.
I freaking love this book. I just want to say, especially like the covers. I've been having a fun time collecting those covers that they look like PlayStation, I guess. Whatever.
Yeah,
That's cover A or whatever.
Yeah, so our cover B on every issue is a video game homage, which we a lot of them have been PlayStation, right? Because those are just my favorite games all the time. But it's actually funny you guys talking about Lost Fantasy and you guys liking on the show, because I think the first time I really interacted with our mutual friend Frankie Jonas is after seeing your
Wait,
boom.
wait, what?
Whoa,
My
Whoa.
ears were ringing.
Weird.
My ears were ringing.
that's
got it.
interesting.
Hey guys, hey
Got an
Kurt.
all-star cameo here. I love it.
Guys, the voice you're hearing right now is none other than Franklin Jonas joining us with his presence.
Oh
Live
yeah,
from the
I'm
recording
coming to you.
studio.
Yeah, live from a recording studio right now.
Oh my god.
Yeah, my
He's got the coolest
bandmates.
background of anyone, right? Like this
Yeah.
guy.
My
He's on
bandmates
tour
are
right
in
now.
here getting the drum sound right, but I had to come on.
It's nice
What's up,
mood
boys?
there.
I love the
That's
lighting, man.
I know it's vibey, right?
But yeah, I was just explaining to them how like the first time I kind of, or our whole friendship was kind of loosely was spawned by this show, because it's like I saw the clip of like you talking about the book on Paneloids, about it like being your favorite comic book, and I was like, whoa, holy shit.
Well, because it's freaking awesome.
It really is.
I
Lost
agree.
Fantasy, Lost Fantasy is the coolest book coming out right now.
I know it's so cool you've decided to join the party so with number 5, which is our next issue that we have coming out, we're previewing a new like spin-off of Lost Fantasy that we're doing, that Franklin's going to be co-writing with me. And so we actually just got the first few colored pages in this week, and it's been epic. It's been really fun, because I think like it takes me back to like how exciting when I first started in comics was, and it's like sending Frank all the pages and stuff as they come in, and you can see kind of like how excited he is, right? Because the first time he's had something come out of his head and script into, seeing the artist bring it to life, and that's for me still the funnest part of the whole process, because getting this incredible art in these great colors, and turning the stuff that's in your head into real living, breathing arts, it's the funnest part of making comics.
I mean, you told me about, like, I was so excited. Like, so when you had come to me and asked me to do this, I like, obviously my mind was freaking blown, because I this has always been a dream of mine. And then subsequently, as I was getting so excited about the writing process and going back and forth, and like just that experience, you just kept saying, wait till you get the pages back. That's when the moment happens. Like, wait till you get the pages back. And the first time I got pages, it was, I mean, I got emotional. I got teary-eyed, because it was like you said, it's the first time. Like, that experience for me, I've shown like I'm like walking around being like, I just got pages and you want to see these, and like showing everyone who knows about it. It's been, I just like, when you asked me to do this with you at Comic-Con, I went back to my hotel room and my girlfriend cried her eyes out, because she was so happy, because she knows how much this meant to me. And like, I think it's just such a testament to you, Kurt. Like, you're such a kind person, and like so generous. And the fact that you did this, I just can't thank you enough, man. It's so cool. And wait till you guys, like, you have to pick up Lost Fantasy 5. Even though it's like, it's already just like, this is the coolest book coming out right now. On top of that, now I get the added privilege of being like, and also catch up on Lost Fantasy if you're not reading it, because issue 5, there's something really cool at the end.
Yeah, it's I mean, I'm super excited about and we're being so vague here because we don't want to like blow the announcement and spoil it.
Which, by the way, technically you did it wasn't officially announced yet about the spinoff till right now, till you said that. Technically, it was only just.
But images we posted on the.
But that was just about Lost Fantasy 5.
I forget. Okay, anyway.
You heard it here first, folks.
As long as we don't, as long as we don't tell the title, that's what
Okay.
counts. As long as we don't
Yeah.
leak the title.
So what is the title?
The PR baby to it.
I always want to say it. It's such a cool title. But no, it's gonna be cool. It's like what I think is so cool about it is the book is connected to Lost Fantasy, and but it has a really different feeling to it, right? It has a totally different energy, and this was an idea that I had in the back of my head and that I wanted to do, and I was thinking about it, but I think like the influences and you know, ideas that Frankie's brought to it has really improved what it is, and is an improvement on how I would have done it, because you're a little bit younger than me, so you have a lot of more contemporary influences. Not to seem like I'm like an old fuck or anything, but you're just telling me about all this stuff I don't know about, where it's like, oh, I've seen this manga where it's like the character costume is so cool, and that ends up being a big influence on the character, and all this influences we're able to pull from that you're bringing in, I think are so helpful in building out the world and making it unique while still being a part of Lost Fantasy. So I think we're just both super excited for people to get the first preview of this new book in the back of Lost Fantasy 5, and then as we dive into working on it, launch it in the spring of next year.
Let's go, baby.
It's gonna be fun, man.
So steering it back a little bit, Curt, did you have like a writing playlist that you used when you were writing Galactic, and was Franklin Jonas and the Byzantines on that?
Well, I don't listen to music when I write, so no one is on there. But I do like
Galactic did have a soundtrack, what would it sound like?
I mean, I think honestly we could put the song that Frankie did with his big bro on there. What's the Velvet Sunshine one?
Oh,
That's a
Velvet
good song.
Sunshine. Okay.
That's a good song. I like that one. And his new single is great as well, so you should listen to that one, everybody. Village Liquor, we got to plug everything on here. But it's funny, every writer's always like sharing their playlists and stuff, and I think Frankie has a playlist for our book, but I can't listen to music really when I write, because I experience music like very emotionally, so it will change what I would write. You know what I mean?
You've met Franklin, right? So,
I definitely had, because I mean, so not to spoil the book at all, but there's a sensibility to our protagonist that I related to a lot, especially from my teen years. And so when I was like, we met, he gave me like a 2-sentence pitch, and then I went back to my hotel room at Comic-Con, and then I wrote like 7 or 8 pages and then gave it to him the next morning at 7 a.m. just because I was so excited and so green. And then, but from that, I realized that I needed to listen to my playlist to get into the headspace of this character from high school. And it's a lot of Midwest emo. It's a lot of modern baseball. We got a lot of Joyce Manners on there.
American football, Sunny Day Real Estate.
There is American football, Tiny Moving Parts, Wonder Years, Stories So Far, and the Front Bottoms, Jersey Zone.
There we go. That's
so,
a great playlist.
If that can give you any tease.
Method, though. That's so interesting, because you're almost going like method, where you're like, okay, you're putting yourself in the character's headspace, where I'm like, for me, I'm trying to just have my brain totally focused on the more like broader story stuff, where it's kind of like and I have all this stuff rallying on my brain, where if I find I put on music, I kind of lose track of things, right? So it's kind of it's basically we're exactly the opposites in the way we're approaching it, but it's a good. We cover each other's blind spots.
Curt knows better than anyone how excitable I am, especially by this incredible opportunity and how much I want to say in each page. I think the first draft that I sent of the first issue to Curt, I think every single page had like 12 or 13 panels on it. I just wanted to give so much information all the time. So I think the term I would
page though, right? Like what's the one? Absolute Batman high panel count on that page. So maybe you're onto something, bud.
Hey,
that being said, there's a lot of rumors going around that modern baseball is coming back next year. If this book brings modern baseball out of retirement, I will forever be indebted to the two of you.
I just ordered the I Miss Modern Baseball hat. So this is a moment for me. I met the guys too because they have their new band and they're so nice.
Why'd they give up? But we're getting off track. We're talking about Galactic. We're talking about Lost Fantasy.
Lost Fantasy.
And the name of the name of the spinoff again?
No. We'll get it.
All right. I love you guys so much. I have to go do my other job, but I adore you so much. I just wanted to come. My ears were ringing. Paneloids, you're the best. We'll be back very soon to talk about Bleep. The new book coming out at Image. Curt, I love you.
See you, buddy. Love you. Good luck in the session. Write a banger.
Thank you. Hugs and
Take
kisses.
care.
Peace out, guys.
And he's gone.
All right.
Nice
We're back to you, Curt. We're back to you. If Lost Fantasy,
I got the big,
that's it.
You're back.
I got the big screen. If Lost Fantasy were adapted for film or TV, who would you cast as Henry Blackheart?
Oh my God, that's tough. He's so anime looking. I don't know who would be able to pull it off. Who would you guys cast? I'd rather hear from you and crowdsource the casting.
Who was the actor that played Goku in the live action action Dragon Ball?
He's like 40 years old now. Like, come on, man. That's a good troll casting. I like that.
I'm bad. I'm bad at that. I think it's very hard to cast an anime esque character.
Who could pull off white hair?
See, the only thing that's popping into my head is another comic book artist, V. Ken Marion, because he looks like Blackheart a bit. So, I mean, good friend of mine, V. Ken.
Cool. His work's cool. I like his stuff, man.
Yeah, he's a really good friend of mine. So he would be, and he acted in Boy Meets World. So he was an extra in Boy Meets World at one time. Come out of retirement.
He's a comic artist who was in Boy Meets World. That's a hell of a resume.
Yes, and his actual name is V. Like his first name is V. It's not. It doesn't stand for anything. It's V, and I love him. Love you, V.
Amazing. Yeah, I think I would honestly put someone like, and this is fucking like so cliche, but like Jacob Elordi or something, just some tall, some tall. Who's the other teen heartthrobs right now? I don't know. And then just give him anime hair,
Franklin Jonas.
Yeah, we cast Franklin Jonas. There you go.
Yeah, I don't know. It's tough, but I think it's the perfect. It's perfect exactly the way it is. I don't even want it on screen. I just want it just right there. Just keep it going.
It would be just great as animated.
I think it would work as an animated show, right? Kind of like Invincible. So I think that's what I lean towards, and sort of,
especially the fight scenes.
Yeah, and I mean it's so funny where I've stumbled onto before where people are like, "Oh, this book is just like." You can tell they want to just get it made into a movie or something. And I'm like, well, you really don't know shit about getting movies made because this motherfucker would cost like 200-300 million to make. It's a guy sitting around with a giant sword fighting dragons and golems and shit in the woods. Like no one's lining up to make that right now. So if it was was trying to get it made into make comics just to make movies. It's definitely not Lost Fantasy, which is literally just basically an explosion of shit that I think is like cool in my 12-year-old brain. So that's literally the guiding. I literally just finished writing an issue today where I wanted to end the issue kind of cool, and I'm like, okay, how he has to travel somewhere, so I'm like, how do we get him here? I'm like, oh, we should just do like an airship, like from Final Fantasy or one of the role-playing games, and like the airship should be piloted by a super hot chick with huge tits. And I'm like, man, that's kind of ridiculous, but I'm like, that's exactly why people read comic books, for like stupid shit like this. So like, why not? Like, and so it's like, yeah, I wrote that. Obviously, there's a little more to it than that, but I'm like, well, let's just have fun with it. It's got to be I feel like comic books need to have maximum amount of cool ideas per issue, right? So like, a lot of the time, that's a guiding principle of Lost Fantasy or even Galactic, right? Like Galactic, there's it's been previewed, but he gets like this pod thing that can warp him through space-time to like a prison, and that's just a comic book thing that is cool and visually interesting. And so it's funny when people are like, yeah, he's trying to get the movie made. I'm like, yeah, I wouldn't have put this shit in here if I wanted to get the movie made. Like, no one in Hollywood who's reading this stuff is like, oh yeah, cool, a wormhole pod. You know, they're like, can we put Jake Gyllenhaal in it? They just don't. It doesn't work like that. It's really always funny, but I'm always trying to just make the best and funnest comic books that I would want to read.
That's funny. It's funny that you mentioned that, because I read both. I mentioned Galactic, or my fiance's like asking me about the book, so I'm like, okay, Galactic. I explained it to her, and then she's like, okay, what's Lost Fantasy? And I was like, I don't really know how to explain it to you. Like, you're just gonna have to read this one. Like, there's a lot happening. It's awesome. That's all. I was like, someone died, and there's a lot of other things. There's giant swords. There's just a lot happening. So you just come read it. Just come read it. That's all I said.
There you go. That's a pitch. Yeah. You got to think of some pitch for it, but one I just read today that I thought was really good was that Skin Breaker. I thought it was a great first issue.
Oh yeah. Oh shit. Oh my god, I forgot to go to a comic book shop. All right. Off
How did you
topic.
forget?
Damn, because I was at work all day. Completely forgot. Anyways, look across all the books and worlds you've created. If you had to live in one, which one would it be and why?
Man. It's kind of a cheat, but I'd probably say like Galactic. It's just like a fun world where you can go drink with your dog who pilots your starship and get into trouble and do some bounties and Galactic, I think, is the funnest world I'd want to live in.
I'm with you. I think I'd do that too. That sounds awesome. Just drinking with your dog, just hanging out.
Yeah, exactly.
I apologize for my ignorance, but I just realized that you wrote The Foreverers, and I would definitely go there.
Okay, cool. Yeah, that one I wrote.
That was a long time ago. That was Black Mask.
It was about 10 years ago almost. Yeah, it's funny. I worked on turning that one into a TV show as well. I wrote a pilot for that one for one of the movie studios, and I really liked that script that we worked on, but it got sort of lost in the Hollywood shuffle. The guy who bought it off us was left the company, and we sort of got, as often happens, lost in that shuffle. But that's one of my favorite ones, and people always tell me how much they like it.
It's an absolutely fantastic book. Yeah.
Thank you, brother.
So I really, this is so hard because you let us read issue 5 of Lost Fantasy, and there's so many things. There's so many things I want to talk about, and we can't. There's nothing non-spoiler that I could even.
I mean, you can we can skirt around it. I mean, it's issue 5. Henry's solving a murder of someone, or murder / disappearance of someone very close to him, and we flash back and we get a huge, epic, massive, Invincible style fight scene that shows exactly what happened. And so it's one of my favorite issues we've done. It's drawn by guest artist Maxi Dallo, or Diallo, I don't know how to say it exactly, but he's a really talented guy who's helping us out on a couple Lost Fantasy issues, and then him and I are going on to do another separate image book together.
You know, that the fight scene. I mean, just the swords. I mean, the creativity behind all the swords we've seen so far. Like
Freaking
that
swords.
alone. Sells the book. I love the sword.
Overload, right? So much
Yeah.
sword. Exactly what people need, right?
It's so good.
And when are we gonna get them in merch form?
I don't know. That'd be really cool. I think.
It will be, not would be, will be.
Yeah, the swords. I think the swords in 5, the sword we introduced in 5 that are kind of our new villain has is probably the coolest sword so far. Or actually, no, the one that Henry's dad has is real cool as well. So we got like a lot of cool swords in number.
It's like swords with little
5.
mini swords on it.
Yeah, that one's crazy. Yeah.
Yeah, you can see why it's hard to explain this book to people sometimes. Like the polar bear. I was like explaining the bear to my fiance. She was like, "Yeah, the one guy has a bear." I don't know. I don't know what to tell you.
Like it's just weird comic book shit, honey. You know what?
Yeah.
It's
read it.
funny. Yeah.
It's so
funny
good.
That one, I guess, I wonder if Lost Fantasy it has so many fans, but I wonder, is it as easy a book to introduce to a new reader as something like Galactic, which I think is really new reader friendly, but because it's Galactic, what's so interesting to me about it is all this other stuff's happening, but it's really just it's kind of like a rom-com in a way, right? And with all this other shit going on, but Lost Fantasy, yeah, it's just it's comic book on overdrive, right? There's just so much shit in it that's just like, yeah, it's there because comic books. We want it to be just as cool and fun and as much like comic book as we can do.
Yep, love it.
You mentioned other projects. I'm a big fan of Indigo Children. Exodus is coming sooner than later. Then there's something Project Kubrick. You got some stuff in the works. I know there's some top secret stuff too. But anything you could tell us new project wise?
I mean, there's honestly a lot. So specifically, the Project Kubrick one is something we teased in the back of Lost Fantasy. So good spot on that. It's an original graphic novel I'm doing with Ryan Quackenbush at Image Comics. So it'll be out next year, and it's kind of it's a surrealist, almost thriller. It's got a lot of different facets to it, but I'd say the thing that kind of reminds me the most of it is something like Severance. So if you like that show, then that one will be for you. And it's real.
It's an
risky.
Image OGN?
Yeah.
Is this the first Image OGN?
No, Image does. It's my first. They do a lot of like the criminal books, right?
Oh, I always forget that criminal. Now they're OGNs because they were originally single issues. Yeah, okay, never mind. I got excited for a second. It's like Image OGN, like that's a whole new thing. But
they don't do a ton. But this idea was really, it's so crazy. It kind of had to be an OGN, and it's designed. Again, like I was mentioning, I did for the distillery book from the get-go. We were envisioning this as an OGN, so we can kind of like play around with the pacing and jump back and forth a lot. And so Ryan's doing this really beautiful work on it that's reminds me of Bill Sienkiewicz at points, and this, Martin Simmons at other points, and at the same time it's totally its own thing. So that one's gonna be special. And then eventually would like to get more Indigo Children out. We're slowly serializing it in the back of Lost Fantasy. And then, yeah, I mean, just counting all that out, it's like 4 or 5 other Image books we've been teasing out, and got more stuff at DSTLRY, and more stuff. Got some stuff with Oni that'll be announced soon. So it's a lot of fun stuff coming.
All very, very cool. You just keep everything I read of yours, I'm more impressed than the last. You really, and it's all just so cool. Like, that's the thing too. Like, it's all so cool.
Well, I appreciate that, man. It's even if you're lying to me just because I'm here, I'll take it. You know, I don't think you guys invite me on the show like, yeah, the last one kind of sucked. But
No.
I'm just really trying to make good comics because I don't know. I love the medium, and I feel like we just gotta. It's a challenging moment right now, and you gotta, if you want people to support your books and head to the store, and you gotta really do your best to excite them and make every of their dollars, you know, count. Because I feel like, you know, on one hand, entertainment's so cheap when you get Netflix for, you know, whatever, $10 a month. And then his comics now are $5, right? So it's like, hey, for most people, that's when they run the calculus on that, it's like, hey, that's getting kind of expensive. So for me, especially with Lost Fantasy, that's why the books are each issue's oversized, right? We've done 4 issues, but we've done like 7 issues of comic. It's 140 pages of Lost Fantasy we've done so far. And so that's just because I read comics every week, and I go, and sometimes you spend $5. I'm up in Canada, so it's actually more here. So it's $5 US, $7 or $8, and it's 20 pages. And I say, the fuck was this? What did I just spend this on? And so with Lost Fantasy, I literally just felt like putting my money where my mouth is and saying, okay, if we're gonna charge you $5, we have to really make you feel like you've gotten your money's worth, and that like you can't wait to read the next one. And so that's what we're trying to do, you know, month in and month out, and hopefully we're succeeding at it.
Curt, where can everyone follow you for updates?
Sorry, I was just reading some of the chats. You follow me on X, just my name, or on Instagram, it's Curt Antonio Pires. It's my full name. Either of those places. I'm not big on social media, but those 2 places, I you know, yell and shout about the new comic books so people will read them.
Excellent.
Oh yeah. Galactic #1 from DSTLRY. Final order cutoff October 6th. In shops November 26th. Lost Fantasy #5 from Image Comics. Final order cutoff October 27th. In shops November 19th. Curt, any final words on these 2 major releases?
No, everyone, if you like the books and you want to make sure you get them, make sure you pre-order, you know, let your shop know. And then I'll just add that our first Lost Fantasy trade paperback will be out the same day as Lost Fantasy #5. So if you need to catch up, so you can read the cool stuff that Frank and I got coming, you can grab the trade paperback when you pick up #5.
That's cool. That's actually very awesome. So, guys, that's it. That's everything for this episode of Paneloids, Comic Books, and More. Huge thanks to Curt for joining us. Thank you, Curt. We'll definitely be planning a follow-up with you and Franklin on the Lost Fantasy spinoff. What's the title for that, by the way? I don't think we got that earlier.
Oh, stop trying to trick me. I'm going to slip up.
Everyone, make sure to pre-order Galactic #1 and Lost Fantasy #5. Next week, we're talking Infernal Hulk with Philip Kennedy Johnson, with interviews coming soon from Paulo Rivera and Kenny Porter. Join the Discord for updates and catch us at New York Comic Con. Thanks again, Curt. Peace
Hey,
out.
thanks for having me. I'll be at New York too, so you guys say hi, all right?
Hell yeah.
Oh, we're gonna find
Will
you. Don't
do.
worry.
All right, later, boys.